Hey guys, Jessica here. I'm going to be talking about the wedding videographer who refused to refund one of his clients when their fiance passed away before their wedding day. Yeah, I can't believe I'm even saying that. I can't believe this is even a situation. When I heard about this story, I was shocked. But I think what's even worse than declining to refund in that situation is what this guy did after the fact. And I'm going to read it to you guys because a few news outlets have covered the story. It blew up on Twitter. People were DMing me and tweeting me and emailing me. So let me just read it like as a summary. So basically, there's this guy named Justin and his fiance Alexis. They were gonna be married. She tragically lost her life in a car accident 3 months prior to their wedding. And Justin reached out to his wedding videographer, asked for a refund. I believe he paid him in full $1,800. But basically the wedding videographer was like, no, I'm not going to give you a refund. I think Justin left a review on this guy's social media, like on like a review page, like he left a negative review. And so the wedding videographer retaliated by doing all this other stuff. So they made a website, literally a .com, of this poor man who's grieving his fiance who just passed away. They made a website using his name, and then they put allegations. This wedding videography company signed a legally binding contract between Justin and his fiance on November 29, 2019. His fiance was killed in a car accident on February 4, 2020. On February 17, Justin reached out by email to tell us the wedding was off due to the death of his fiance. We replied and expressed our sympathy and explained to him that all of our wedding contracts are non-refundable. He kept emailing us trying to get a refund, and we kept reiterating that the contract is non-refundable. We eventually stopped responding since the issue was moot. So this is what the wedding videographer is claiming. This is all written by them. So the wedding videographer goes on to say Justin then contacted the failing news station in Colorado Springs to tell his story, and in the news story he admits that the contract was non-refundable, but that we should still give the money back due to the circumstance. Life is a Justin. I'm reading verbatim what this company wrote, by the way. I'm not adding in anything. Let's continue. Let us explain to you why wedding service contracts are non-refundable. First, when you reserve the date with us, that date is yours. We block that date off in our calendar so no one else can book that specific date. If something should ever happen and the wedding is canceled, like in this scenario, we keep that money as liquidated damages, as there is a likelihood that we will never rebook that date with someone else. Second, Justin and his fiance booked 2 videographers with us. Now we have 2 shooters who cannot film that day and lose out on the income. Non-refundable deposits are the industry standard. So he posted that to say his side of the story. You might be thinking, hey, it's reasonable. He's just saying why he had to keep the deposit and he hired these 2 people that are going to be out of jobs. Great. But then he does this. He posts something on Facebook. Today would have been the day where we would have filmed Justin and Alexis's wedding in Colorado Springs. After what Justin pulled with the media stunt to try to shake us down for a refund, we hope you sob and cry all day for what would have been your wedding day. Sorry, not sorry. Yes, the wedding videographer actually posted a picture of this man and his now deceased fiance on their Facebook to just say, I hope you cry all day, and this would have been your wedding day on their actual wedding day. That obviously never happened. So, and it doesn't even stop there. He goes even further to say things like, you'll never get a refund, even from the grave. He's replying to people, calling them names, mocking the death, and saying things like he called somebody a fatso. I haven't heard that one since 2000, but yeah. So let's talk about this situation, shall we? And for those who don't know, I am actually a wedding photographer. I've shot many, many weddings. I've worked with so many different clients. So I have quite a bit of experience. I've also worked with videographers. So if you're wondering, I would have refunded the money 100%. I'm not even going to ask you about it. I'm not going to say anything except I'm so sorry for your loss. Of course, I'm going to refund your money. That's it. End of discussion. I'm not going to be like, well, I'm going to keep half. Well, I'm going to do... I would just give the entire amount back because I do not feel right taking money. First of all, in that circumstance, it's a tragedy. It's truly a tragedy. And then on top of it, why would I keep that money? I never did anything. I didn't earn the money. There's no services that have been rendered. So why would I keep it? And that's just me as a person. I just feel like I would want someone to do that for me if I was in that situation. So that's personally me. So the details of the situation. The videographer refused the refund, stating that the contract that was signed said the deposit is non-refundable. This is a very slippery slope here, okay? Because contractually, yes, you can say it's non-refundable, but morally, and that's where a lot of photographers and actually just vendors in general are missing the point between a contract and then, consumer relations, like being just a good person and customer service, which overrides like any contract, to be honest with you. And look, I'm all for having a contract. I always say have a contract. It's not like I'm saying don't have a contract and don't follow your contract, but I'm saying cater to the situation and give the benefit of the doubt and be a good person, and don't just make a bad decision because your contract states, oh yeah, I can't do this. Now what we know is the client paid $1,800, which was the full amount, I'm assuming. So first of all, that's not even a deposit. A deposit, we have to know how much the deposit was. If it was half of the amount, then the client would be entitled to half of it. I can't see in any situation where you would keep the full amount before the wedding even happened, before you even do anything. You just want to keep the entire amount. At least if you're going to say, I'm not going to refund the money, at least refund half of it. What I'm saying is, if the total amount is $1,000 and the client pays you $500 and they just cancel the wedding for whatever reason, and you want to enforce this non-refundable deposit, okay, keep the $500, fine. But if the client pays you the full $1,000 and again, this cancellation happens, you can't say, hey, I'm not giving you back the whole $1,000 because the deposit is non-refundable. And you might be thinking, yeah, I would never do that. But guess what? No, it happens. There's a lot of photographers who do that. They don't give the entire amount back, stating, oh, the deposit's non-refundable. Oh, I can't book this day again. But you're going to keep the entire amount? It doesn't make sense. You haven't done anything. Just be honest with yourself about that. We're all out here just trying to take people's money. Like, how long are you going to be in business doing that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how long can you sustain a business just refusing to refund people's deposits, just keeping people's deposits because they want to reschedule or they want to cancel? Like, does that sound like a sustainable long-term business, like successful business for more than like a couple months? No, it doesn't, because you can't run a successful business on deposits. You can't do it. You can try, but it's gonna catch up to you. You guys, it's not worth it. You're gonna ruin your business like this. Let me tell you why. Let's get into the rest of it. What you need to think about is this deposit worth more than your client's happiness and satisfaction? If the answer is yes, then you're in the wrong business, because photography is as much as you as a person, your personality, and how well you communicate and get along with others, as much as it is the skill of your work and how you take pictures, okay? Also think about your reputation in the industry. You might be withholding one refund thinking, oh yeah, like it's not gonna be a big deal, I'll just keep the money. That person's gonna talk, and that will affect your reputation. But I understand there are some cases in which you shouldn't give back a deposit. We're gonna be talking about that. Okay, let's get to that actually. Assuming that you had a contract that stated that the deposit is non-refundable and your client signed it, assuming that you have that, let's talk about, when do you refund the money to your client? When do you refund a deposit? A tragedy, a death, an accident. Of course you should refund. Of course. Even though in your contract you may state it's non-refundable, it is the right thing to do. Yes, a contract, you should definitely have one. You should have a non-refundable deposit, but you need to be a human being, okay? And again, photography is beyond taking pictures. It's also a relationship with people. Your clients will remember how they are treated in moments like this, when tragedy happens, when there's a cancellation. Like, you think brides want to cancel their wedding Absolutely not. So much planning goes into it. Like, the last thing they want to do is have to move their date or cancel. Let's talk about when not to refund a deposit, okay? Services were rendered. You already shot the wedding, you did the work, you showed up on time, you did a good job. That's when I wouldn't give back the deposit. That is a legitimate reason as to when you shouldn't give back the deposit. That's great. Just, you don't have to, there you go. There you go, you're using the contract. They found someone else to shoot the wedding, or somebody cheaper. Maybe they don't want to work with you anymore, or they don't like the pictures, or maybe it's something that you posted online that they don't like. Whatever it may be, these would be legitimate reasons as to when you can keep the deposit. You're probably thinking, why would I refund any money at all? It's money that I get to keep. It's like $500. You know, there are actually many benefits to refunding your client's deposit to them. Yes, there are benefits to refunding people's money. I know, doing nice things for people. In return, good things happen to you. What a concept. Refunding somebody their deposit will greatly benefit your client's happiness and satisfaction. They're gonna tell their friends, okay? And that's just gonna make you look good. Overall, you're just gonna look good. Who doesn't wanna look? Let me just get to the second point. People are totally skipping all of these things just for like a quick cash grab. Tragic. If they reschedule or happen to continue with the event for any reason, they will most likely book you. And let me tell you why. Because you were indirectly involved with the situation and you reacted in a positive manner. You didn't make their time harder. You didn't make it more difficult. You made things easier for them. So of course they're gonna book you. Maybe they're gonna book you for the next 50 events that they have. Maybe if they book you for the wedding, they'll book you for their, baby shower, baby pictures, family pictures. You're gonna be that photographer because now they have that, connection with you, that relationship with you. And again, there's just nothing greater than being a good person, period. You demonstrate things like empathy, understanding, and trust when you refund somebody, especially in a tragedy or a very sensitive situation. Now, what's gonna happen when you don't refund the money? Your clients, number one, are gonna be upset. And again, I'm speaking about if it's a tragedy, like a death or an accident or a very legitimate reason. I'm talking about these reasons. They will be upset and they will take it personally. And you will indirectly be involved in all of this trauma, all of this, this difficult situation. You're gonna also kind of be tied to it, unfortunately, by not refunding their deposit, because it's gonna be another bad thing that happens to them in the midst of this difficult time. Another thing which people do not consider: if the client reschedules or initiates a new event or needs a photographer for any type of photo shoot, they will not book you. They will not, even if you have the best work in the world. No one is going to want to book a photographer that did them wrong. Yeah, you got $500, but you probably missed out on like $7,000 because maybe they had you lined up for all of these events. Maybe the client's sister also was interested in booking you, and maybe being at that event would have gotten you more clients. So $500 or more clients, better reputation, long-term success. Just think about it. Your work will be overshadowed by the situation. No one is gonna say, oh yeah, Stacy's work is so great, but she wouldn't give me back my $1,800. It's gonna be, yeah, I'm never gonna book Stacy. Like, she wouldn't return my money. Like, I can't believe her. That's it. No one's gonna be like, yeah, her work's amazing. Like, it's just not gonna happen. Let's be real here. Think about it. Is the $500 worth it? It's temporary. You probably spend it in like a month on like a lens cap. And then what? No one's gonna book you after that because people are gonna be talking about this one thing that you did, the fact that you want to refund people. And again, we're just seeing. I feel like people are just seeing short term. They just want money right away. That's not how you build a good clientele. That's not how you build a successful, and again, long-term business. Would you rather have a one-time payment of $500? Or would you rather have a reoccurring monthly payment of $5,000-$6,000? Which one? Which is it, you guys? I want to make one thing clear. I'm not saying non-refundable deposits are bad and you shouldn't have them. And I'm not saying contracts are bad and you shouldn't have them. You should actually have both of those things. Always, for weddings, especially. But don't let a contract override a good moral judgment. So legally, is he right? Yes, he has a contract. It states the deposit is non-refundable. The client signed and agreed to the terms. Morally, is he right? No. A lot of people are upset. They feel like the client should be given a refund in this circumstance. What would you guys do in this situation? Would you refund the money or would you keep the deposit? What would you guys do? Let me know down below in the comments. Leave your thoughts, and I would love to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.